What if the reason you haven't reached your full potential isn't because you're lazy, unmotivated, or not smart enough, but because you've never been shown where the real switch is? Not the switch for working harder, not for thinking faster, but for thinking differently, deeply, clearly, and powerfully. You see, intelligence isn't what you've been taught. It's not how many facts you memorize or how fast you calculate. It's your ability to perceive what others overlook, to hold opposing thoughts without collapsing, to see through the noise and lock on to truth. But most people never get there, because their brains are stuck in loops, wired by distraction, drained by fear, and hijacked by autopilot. The good news? There's a part of your brain designed for higher thought, for clarity, innovation, and insight. It's real, it's biological, and it's been quietly waiting for you to stop surviving and start activating. You've felt it before. Those rare moments of razor-sharp clarity, where everything slows down and your mind feels awake. That's not luck. That's a glimpse of the intelligence you were born with. The switch isn't out there, it's inside. But first, you must learn to break the mental patterns holding it hostage. This isn't about gaining knowledge, it's about reclaiming command of your mind. And once you flip that switch, everything changes. How you think, how you feel, how you move through life. You don't need more motivation. You need a moment of silence and the courage to step through the doorway your mind has been guarding. Let's begin. Right now, there's a silent war happening in your brain. Two systems, two paths. One pulls you toward comfort, distraction, and routine. The other calls you toward clarity, mastery, and depth. Most people don't even realize they're stuck in the first. They wake up, scroll, react, repeat. They live in a mental fog, not because they lack intelligence, but because they've never learned to direct it. The human brain is a machine of patterns. It takes shortcuts. It favors what's familiar, even if it hurts. So when you try to break through, to learn deeply, to think sharply, it resists. Not because it's weak, but because it's trained for survival, not greatness. That's the trap. You can read more books, watch more lectures, push harder, but if your attention is being hijacked by fear, noise, or ego, your intelligence will never come online. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. Intelligence is not what you know. It's how you manage your mind in moments of pressure, confusion, or silence. And the most powerful minds don't just gather information, they see through it. They pause. They reflect. They don't chase every thought. They question them. This is where real intelligence begins, not with knowing more, but with unlearning the noise. If you want to rise above the fog, you must step into the battle consciously. You must choose the part of your mind that sees, not just reacts. Because once you learn how to think instead of what to think, you become unstoppable. There's a reason monks, warriors, and geniuses across history all practiced one strange habit: stillness, not because it was spiritual, because it was strategic. They discovered something modern life hides. When you quiet the noise, your mind begins to rewire itself. This is the brain hack no one taught you. Not in school, not at work, not in society, because a still, focused mind can't be manipulated. And that makes you dangerous. You're told to always be doing, always be achieving. But deep intelligence doesn't emerge in chaos. It emerges in deliberate slowness, when you give your mind space to reorganize, recalibrate, and upgrade. Neuroscience now confirms what ancient thinkers knew. The prefrontal cortex, the seat of insight, logic, and higher thought, activates when we engage in calm, focused reflection. But that part of your brain shuts down under constant urgency. Every notification, every distraction, every rush, it pulls you back into survival mode. You want the hack? Learn to sit in silence and observe what arises. No judgment, no reaction, just awareness. Your thoughts will scream, your ego will panic. But if you don't flinch, You'll pass through the noise, into a space where patterns become visible, where ideas connect, where clarity explodes. This is how intelligence grows, not through force, but through mental stillness with ruthless focus. It's not a trick, it's a doorway, and once you step through it, you'll start to sense a power in you that's been buried for years, quiet, calm, unshakable. You won't need to prove your intelligence, you'll embody it. There's a moment, quiet, invisible, when something inside you shifts, not because you added anything new, but because you finally let go of everything false, the noise, the mental clutter, the belief that you're not enough. In that moment, you don't just think more clearly, you see differently. You begin to notice the traps you used to walk into, the patterns that ran your life, the voices that whispered fear, now exposed for what they are, echoes, not truth. You stop chasing intelligence as if it's something outside you, and start living from a deeper center, focused, aware, unshakable. This is the shift that makes you unstoppable, not because you always know the answer, but because you're no longer afraid to face the question. You can sit in uncertainty. You can stand in silence. You can move through life with clarity that isn't loud, but lethal. And here's the secret. Most people will never get here, because it requires something rare, not talent, not luck, but discipline of attention. 2. Stop reacting, to stop performing, to stop running from your own mind. You don't rise by climbing faster. You rise by clearing away what holds you down. If you're still here, it's not by accident. Something inside you is ready, not for more stimulation, but for mastery. So, take the step, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, right now. Because the moment you choose awareness over autopilot, you no longer move with the world moves with you.